Hello everyone, welcome in module 2 of chapter 3 Fibre to Fibre. In the previous module, we discussed how wool obtained from wool yielding animals. Now today, we are going to discuss about silk and sericulture, life history of silk moth, rearing of silkworm, and how is silk obtained from cocoon. So let's start. Silk is another animal fiber which is obtained from the cocoon of silk moth, and it lives on leaves of mulberry plants. This is the mulberry plant. Silk is soft, light in weight and strong fiber. Different types of silkworm produce different type of silk in terms of luster and texture, like tussar silk, muga silk, kosa silk, and the main variety of silk is mulberry silk. The rearing of silkworm for obtaining silk is called sericulture. There are 4 stages in the life cycle of a silk moth. Number 1 is egg. Number 2 is caterpillar. Number 3 is pupa. And number 4 is adult. The female silk moth lays hundreds of eggs on the mulberry leaves. The larvae then hatch out in 3 to 5 days and they are called caterpillar. These caterpillars feed on mulberry leaves and grow in size. When the caterpillar is ready in 5 to 6 weeks to enter the pupal stage, it stops feeding and its salivary glands start secreting a sticky fluid that is known as fibrin. This fluid hardens on exposure to air and forms a long thread of silk. This thread gets wrapped around its body to form a ball-like structure called cocoon. So these are the cocoons. At this stage, the caterpillar becomes a pupa. Now the silk moth continues to develop inside the cocoon. At the end of pupal stage, the silk moth cuts open the cocoon and the young moth flies out. So this is the complete life cycle of silk moth. Production of silk from silk moths involve the following steps: rearing of silkworm, reeling of silk, dyeing, and spinning and weaving. So let's study them in detail. As we know, the female silk moth lays hundreds of eggs. These eggs hatch into larvae. They are called caterpillar or silkworm. They are kept in bamboo trays and fed on mulberry leaves. After 30 to 40 days, they stop eating and begin to spin cocoons. Inside the cocoon, the silkworm develops into silk moth. But this development of silk moth is the natural process, which is not involved in sericulture. So before they develop into silk moth, the cocoons are collected and kept in either sunlight or boiled or exposed to steam, and then silk fibers are separated out. The process of taking out the silk thread from the cocoon is called reeling, which is done by machine. So here the cocoon is being boiled to separate the thread, and here reeling is done. Now the raw silk is dyed into various colors. Now the silk fibers are spun with the help of the spinning wheel, and fibers are converted into thread by the process of spinning. And these are the looms where the threads are arranged to weave, and they are weaved into different silk cloths that is called fabric. Let's recap what we learned today. So now we know silk is an animal fiber. Silk fiber is obtained from the cocoon of the silk moth. Female silk moth lays hundreds of eggs on the mulberry leaves. The larvae that are hatched out are called caterpillars. Caterpillars feed themselves on freshly cut mulberry leaves and grow fast. When ready to enter pupal stage, the caterpillars stop feeding and their salivary glands start secreting a sticky fluid. This fluid hardens on exposure to air and forms the thread of silk. This thread gets wrapped around their body to form cocoon. At this stage, caterpillar becomes pupa. At the end of pupal stage, the silk moth cuts open the cocoon and the young moth flies out. Cocoon are then sorted out. The sorted out cocoons are boiled in water. The cocoon are then given hot and cold emulsions. The fiber of silk are separated from cocoon, that is called reeling of silk, and this silk is called raw silk. The silk fibers are then dyed, spun to get thread. The silk thread is then woven to get silk cloth. That's all for today. Thank you and have a good day.